Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, and I am back and very excited to be starting a new series. This episode will be more about setting things up than anything else. And before we even start the setup, let me just show you real quick my subscribed items that I'll be using. If I add any, I'll be sure to let you guys know at the very least. And if you can't find it, let me know and I'll make sure you can get whatever mods. Maybe we'll come through this periodically just so you can see. I've downloaded all of Off the Rails mods. He's a good modder and a YouTuber, and he's been watching the series. So out of respect for him, if nothing else, we have downloaded all of these mods. So I'll just go by. If you need more time, of course, just pause it and you can take a look. Again, not all of them, but the majority. I do wish it said here by Off the Rails or something like that. I know he made this large oil well. So this playthrough will be on hard settings, but it's going to be with these mods. And then the last one on the list is New Rever Stand. So that's the map that we will do in a second here. So we should have all of those mods in, and I wanted to come here and... So this will be, I didn't get rid of Bitumen River mod, but that's all right. That's a nice map. That was definitely something I would consider playing. And this was just something I made as an experiment. All right, so here we go. So we're going to do New Rever Stand. We're going to do it on the hard settings. And let's just do hard there, right? So we have hard money, which, does it tell us? No, money amount. I think it's... I forget how much do we get? Like $1 million? So we're going to be on hard things. The one thing I'm going to change is the day-night cycle. All right. So the global events, I don't think they're in place yet. Not available now. Pollution enabled. Oh, we're going to go back to 1960, which I think makes it even harder because we'll have less vehicles. And then as far as, we have to get them good education, buildings. You guys get the idea. I'm going to turn down the population because we're going to put in some people today, which will limit them. And I don't necessarily want the people around the map. All right, so let's start the new game. And then as soon as we get in here, we're going to pause it for a second. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm missing some item. If Radomir could put that in, I would appreciate, at least make a link. Because it doesn't, when you subscribe, it doesn't say that you have anything required. Sometimes there's a link. I don't know how they do that, or if nothing else, he can give us the link and we can understand why. So now, here we are. And speaking of Radomir, if you look him up on the Steam Workshop, I'll leave a link, by the way, to Off the Rails, and I'll leave a link to, I call him Radomir because that's his YouTube username, but it's Nicoladi.panda. So again, look down below. You'll see the link in the comments, or not in the comments, but in the description of the video. So this map that I've downloaded has an awful lot of trees, and then compared to the very first version that we looked at, he has no trees over here. And what I would like to do is sort of put more trees back in, but also just get rid of the thick parts, because I noticed I have the graphics thing. I don't know if you can see at the bottom, it's not as bad as it was because there's less trees, but it's still there. And I just feel like there's still hugely dense areas that for the visual. I also noticed some places like this I'd like to just sort of clean up, where it's, very abrupt in its way it is, right? Just to clean that up. So in order to do that, and then there's another thing I'm going to do, but we'll get into that next. Now, you can do this too. I put a link to all I don't know about all of them, but it's called Cheats and Shortcuts, which you don't know. So in any event, in order to get in here, what we need to do is go to cheat mode, but we want time to be playing. So when we actually technically start the map, it won't be on January 1st, right? So I'm going to come in here, and then I'm going to hit C, H, and E, and it activates cheat mode, right? And then I'm going to hit Control, press E, and then D. And if you notice up here, we get a new bar. So I'm going to come over to trees, right? And then we can increase the width or decrease it, and I can delete a lot of these trees that are just like very, very dense. And plus, again, like I don't really like the color. So let me go around. I think the best thing, I was thinking of pausing the video, or fast forwarding, but that takes some time. And so I'm just going to go around the map and delete like massive numbers of trees. Let me just show you what I'll do. And then I'm going to come in. Yeah, say, you'll get the idea, right? Like it's just going to take me a while, and I don't think you guys need to see it. So then I'm coming back to add brush, and I tried this out a little bit experimentally. When Radomir had put them down, he put them down at 10,000. I don't know if that's the maximum, but I'm going to put them down at 800. Now, if you look, if we come here, I guess we have to do the same. Oh, okay. I can't zoom in or out. No. So, you know what? I'm still stuck on that. Enter the. It was still trying to enter the number there. There we go. So if we come in here and if you look, if I click, I get all the different kinds of trees kind of like splotched together. Or what I can do is do like pine trees, right? So what I'll do is 90% pine trees, but we'll spice it up a little bit. And I'll come back and show you my tree edit. And you guys can do this too, like I said. And then there's the whole cheats thing over there. So let me, like I said, pause the video and then put a boatload of trees back in. All right, see you guys in a second. Okay, I've gotten rid of all of the trees pretty much. So apparently there's a story behind this guy, and I need to go read up on it. I think I will once I get done editing. But there's a guy who lived in the forest in this area that Radomir has in mind, and this is his house. So when I talked to him about like less trees, like less density of trees, he definitely felt like Lykov's house here would be very well suited to have many, many trees, right? So we're going to do many, many pine trees around his house compared to other places. But before I put all the trees back in, I thought about something. And I was going to do that, and I said I was. But what I want to do is talk to you guys about the resources, because I also want to edit them a little bit. And there's a couple reasons. Oh, wait, we got rid of all the... Oh, wait. So there's too much oil on this map, in my opinion, and I don't want us to have oil right where we start. Let's head over to here, right? And if we come over here to resources, and we have this erase tool, right? And then let me shrink this back down so you guys can see. So this is the island that I want to start on. And then because we've selected erase oil, this is where all that oil is. And what I want to do is get rid of all of this oil that's like close, and maybe limit it to a couple places that are, here, let's make this bigger, right? Just like a couple places that are not too far away. I mean, I do want us to be able to get oil, but make it more of a challenge. And then if we come over here and you hover, well, here, let's make it big again so you guys can likely see it anyway. Right, see how like none of it's on that island right where I'm at down there? All right, so I want to get rid of some more. So let me go around and delete all of the oil except for like these two islands and this little tip over here by this export. But particularly these two islands is where I'm picturing we would go for our oil. All right, once again, be right back. There we go. So I made it so that these two islands here, let's shrink this stuff down. And you know what, I think I can close this tool. Oop, now if I close the tool, you can't see. So basically, right around these two relatively little islands, we'll have our oil, which when you think about it, we're going to start over here. So it won't be impossible to get up there, but it's going to be some work, right? We're not just going to be able to plop down something. In addition to that, if you knew my starting strategy, you would know that I don't really plan on heading in that direction. If you look at the map a little bit better, it's kind of going to be tough to get up that way. So now the next thing I'd like to do before we put in trees is talk about the coal. And I would like to make it a little bit different than Radomir had pictured, and iron as well. I would like to make it so that it won't be impossible for us to get some coal and iron. And when I say impossible, I mean, when I put down a coal mine, I would like it to be relatively or very highly productive. Right? So I know that's a little bit cheaty, but I'm making it hard in many other ways. So what I want to do is go around, like he's got some very light coal here. Let's, if we switch to the erase coal tool, right? If we turn around, he's got like very light coal here. And I really don't plan on putting any coal here anyway. Like I don't want polluting kind of things here. So what I want to do is go and erase like a lot of the coal he's got around in weak deposits and put it kind of further away at that point, right? So if we now take a look, like I've erased a lot of that. I guess there's some out in the river here. All right, so we'll, you know, and I'll do some of this. I'll pause it again. And what I want to do is put in ore and iron in like 3 different kind of locations, more or less. Now right up here near this NATO export, this is going to be like my compromise on super hard. So if we come over here, like I said, I just want to get rid of some of the weak stuff, right? And I want to put like some little bit better coal and iron here, right? Like say on that hill. And then I want to erase all the coal here, right? And then I want to put some iron on this hill, right? Not a whole lot. I think that's enough for like 1 or 2 iron mines or coal mines, like nothing major. But when we do put them down, they'll be pretty good. And then let's come over to here. So see what we did down like right over here, right? I'll get rid of this iron and all up here. And then what I want to do is come up to these hills and make like these hills just like flooded with iron and coal, right? So in other words, maybe we'll do it a little bit, you know, like you see how he has little spots in here. I want to make like this whole valley like really good iron. And then I'm thinking like kind of on the other side so that it's like it's going to be hard for us to get all the way up in here and build. You know, it's going to kind of be enough of a challenge just getting to here. So this will be like our really good iron off in the distance kind of thing. And then what I'm thinking of is like on the other side of the mountain, just to make it not too easy for us, we would do the same kind of idea with coal, right? Like right now, he has his coal all on the other side there, and I'll get rid of a lot of that, but I would like to, you know, just sort of make this side of the mountain where we could get coal, but we're going to have to work our way up into these hills, and it's not going to be easy, right? But once we get there, we'll have, you know, high concentrations, relatively speaking, you know? So again, I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but the good news is you don't have to edit your map in the same way. So I think Radomir is going to try to put like my edits in a map. There you go. Say like that'll be good enough, even though we have like kind of some. What I learned is when you get in these hills, you might need to like. It doesn't always. It's kind of like hitting what I pictured. I didn't want those little gaps in there. Right, and then the other area we'll have that I'll just clean up a little bit is down south there, like over in here, right, where we have a little bit. I'd like to put a little bit more iron down here, and then I think the coal's fine, but I'll clean up and get rid of the little weak coals because I don't intend to use those, right, and this will be fine. All right, I'll be back again in another minute when I've, you know, cleaned it up a bit or made it the way I want, you know. See you in a second. And I think I have the resources the way I want them. So what we're going to have is, oops, I kind of deleted something up here, didn't I? What was that, coal? All right, let's, yeah, there it is. Oop, yeah, that's the place tool, right? Did I make that a little bit more over here? Yeah, I kind of got rid of a bit. There we go. Yeah, that was a nice big blob, right? So this is, you know, probably more coal up in this area or iron than we would ever need. And that's sort of, I'm a little bit worried about with the original amount that we wouldn't have enough, right? So I know we'll have enough if we can get up into these hills. So and then as far as down here goes, I sort of have plans, but we have a bit more here, right? Not too far away, but also in these hills where it wouldn't be that friendly to build a city. So what I'm thinking of is we build like maybe another town over this way, right? See, so we'll have coal and iron down there, which we could kind of set up some steel mills. And then I think I sort of messed up here. What do we got? Coal. Yeah, I didn't want these plops. I'm not sure who put those back there. All right, there we go. See, so we'll have some kind of relatively easy coal in this flat land that we can get to, and an iron. So maybe we get a steel mill going in this area to get started. We could have like a steel city down here. And then eventually we'll have to talk about, could we get up into here and into those hills? Let's shrink this down and we can get a better picture. I don't want to spend too much time with this. We'll explore it with the rest of the map, right? So this is where that coal is, right? Yeah, we're on the coal tool. All right, so see how we can get over here and get some of that coal. Not going to be particularly easy. For darn clouds. So in other words, it's not like it's right there, right? Like, you know, where would we build a city over here? It's, you know, we got some flat land here. Let's switch over to the iron, and the iron, you know, like kind of a band of it along here. And then this would be sort of, I consider, easier to get to because we have this nice flat plain here. Let's erase a little. I seem to be making a mess up. And then coal, you know, we have a fair amount like right there. But then in order to get to like this stuff, so I didn't put any on this side. We got to get up into the hills somehow, you know, in order to get up there to get stuff out of these hills. So it's not going to be that easy to get to that coal. All right, so now what I want to do is go back to my tree tool and just add a bunch of trees without making them too dense in too many areas, other than out of respect for Radomir around that guy's house, which, where the heck is that guy's house? There it is. All right, so we'll make this nice and dense forest right there. But other than that, you know, I think this gives a pretty good density tool without overwhelming my computer. I don't want to have problems. So you got to remember, even if I have a decent graphics card, it also is part of the process is recording it, right? So I can't have too many. But let me go around and start populating, you know, trees just all around the map, sort of like this. I don't really like the way it puts like a little bit of a denser plop right in the middle, but whatever. You know, we'll get it. I'll get it to look at least reasonable, I think, you know, and try to stay away from the borders to start. I'm also probably not going to put too many up in the mountains, like maybe a spot like this or so, but not, you know, and that'll just help cut down on the number of trees. And I think that'll look kind of okay, right? Maybe a few of the hills will have them, but anyway, all right, I'll be back in a minute or 20. That's a lot of trees, even with it not so dense. A lot of clicking. My finger is getting sore. So here's our little island down by the river. I put some extra, like, of the multicolored tree, or, you know, all the trees, because I figured the climate would be slightly less than like up in the mountains where I always put like just pine trees. Well, not in the mountains, but, you know, as we approach the mountainous areas, it's just pine trees up into the hills. You know, I tried to put them a little bit more heavily in the valleys where they would be protected from the weather and probably do a little bit better. If I really, really wanted to, you could actually say, well, this is way south, and they're going to tend to do better like on the south side of a hill than the north side of a hill. But in any event, there we go. So we have trees all over. Let's go back over to Lykov's house, and it's pretty well populated over here, right? But I think it's reasonable anyway. And I don't get like a big graphics thing going on now. A little bit when I'm spinning around real fast, but I can, and we're right where it's like the heaviest. Like, you know, if I come over to other spots, I don't notice it so much, you know? So I think we're in good shape. I think we still have a lot of trees on the map. And at the same time, I think it's reasonable load for the graphics card. So there we go. So I'm going to pause the video one more time and get out of this mode. So what I want to do is hit Control E and then D, all at the same time, by the way. We get back into here, and then we can pause, and we can hit C, H, and E and get out of cheat mode. So we're already going to start in February, but I want to stop it now. Here, let's make a save. And save as, we're going to call this new Rever Stand EO1. Now, I'd like to ask your guys' opinion. I would like to give you guys a copy. What I'm going to do in the second part of this video, very shortly here, is start placing down the initial buildings. So I would like to know if you would like a copy of the one right now, that's just sort of the blank map as I've edited it, though we're going to try to see if we can't get that loaded onto the Steam Workshop as like a just download the map kind of thing, like you would any other map. Or if you want it with these initial buildings, I'm going to make another save at the end of episode E0-2, say, that you guys could just download the map save. That's going to be my intention so that we can start out, if you want to follow along with the same exact construction buildings and everything else. All right, guys, see you in a minute. Welcome to Construction Island. If anybody has a suggested starting island, I don't know. But this is where I want to start. So now the rest of this episode is going to remain paused. And the main thing I would like to do is get enough stuff on Construction Island here that we can build another empire in New Reverstan. So I was thinking, you know, this lake is a bit of a pain, but at the same time, it could produce a bit of a barrier to like pollution, right? Because these construction things can sometimes pollute. So what I want to do is start out with a road, and I think we'll do mostly wireframe, man, just to see what's up with that. But we got a nice flat island to get some things started. Now, one thing to notice when I was in the edit mode, and Radomir had made a comment about the same thing, it's like, boy, it's really easy to forget when you're so far zoomed out, right? Like, I was annoyed because we're always in the clouds. I'm trying to see, you know, you're doing things on a big scale in that edit. So in any event, now that we're zoomed in, you start to realize just how big the map is. Like, we got to get all the way over to those mountains, you know, all the way around that side if we're going to get oil, and, you know, just, you know, things are a little further than they appear in the mirror kind of thing. All right, so I want to see about starting on the grid. I don't know. Yeah, the grid's north-south, right? There, let's turn on the mini map so you guys can generally see where I'm at. So we're sitting here, and this is east, due east. This would be like due south. And yeah, I like to put things on the grid, but I don't know if it's working out for me too well at this point, right? Because I think we want to, you know, kind of come this way. The grid doesn't matter that much, right? Or it really doesn't matter at all. Yeah, so let's put a road in. These dirt roads don't cost us much, and this will sort of set up our straight line, right? Where we'll try to put some things that way and this way. So what I'm picturing is getting all of the things that we need. Now, the other thing I think I'd like to do, as much as anything for, yeah, we'll put it on the 45. How's that sound? We have a little bit of a thing there. We can level that out. Oh, can we? No, we can't really level much without using money. So let's turn that off. The other thing I want to do, don't make sure all of these are, don't build with rubles. All right, so we're going to need a bulldozer, kind of like ASAP. So the construction office doesn't pollute. Let's go back to the roads. Let's get this going. All right, and I'll just make this one, where are we at? Kind of right on the 45 as well. All right, and then let's get, now this series we're going to use mods, so I do, oh, you know what, we can filter it by the type. Okay, so we want construction office. Oh, good. So we're going to generally use these large construction offices where we can. All right, I can't really even see it. There we go. All right, so we'll have a large construction office there. And let's go ahead and purchase that. Most of this stuff we're just going to purchase. Now, I don't know if that cost us more money, but Then maybe on this side, I think we could go back to regular construction, roads. I want to put a bus stop here so that we can pick up people from the bus stop. Probably a gas station would be a good idea as well. Auto purchase resources, turn that off. All right, so we'll do the same thing with our bus stop there. And let's see, yeah, let's purchase, or gas station, sorry. All right, and then we're gonna do a small bus stop. Not that pass-through one. Small bus platform. Well, this is a pass-through one too, right? Yeah, no, the small one is fine for now. All right, and then what I'm picturing, we don't necessarily have to build it like immediately, is that we start building our town to the what, kind of southwest of here. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and purchase that. So let's just play a little bit of time so that we can get, this is being built, right? Yeah. So that we can come in here. We're going to have to, you know, buy some equipment. So we're down, it's not too expensive right at the beginning of the game here, but we're definitely going to want a bulldozer. We might as well, I don't know about fill this thing, but let's get the things, you know, that we can. So speed 26. This one is a lot cheaper, isn't it? This one, let's go with the cheaper one just to save a couple bucks. Now we don't need personal cars. We don't need a tower crane because we just bought the road crane. Yeah, we're going to eventually want a roller. We're going to want a paver. Yeah, we'll get at least one concrete mixer. We'll get a excavator. All right, speed 22. Yeah, in this case, look, this one's certainly a far better deal at 33 versus 32. And yeah, good. I think we got that. Road crane, bulldozer. We got excavator. We got personal car. We don't need to fell trees. Open haul. Yeah, we'll get this skid one because it's the best one to start out with. Dumper. Yeah, the T38 dumper without a doubt is the better one. And then the same thing with the skid 706 is certainly better than these smaller ones as far as that goes. And then we'll need a bus. And at this point, I think we'll just get the biggest capacity bus we can. That one's 65. Is that 60? And that's 52, 60, 60. Is there one faster or slower? Yeah, I don't know why you would spend the extra money. We'll get one of the little blue buses there. So that should be like all of the vehicles that we would need to get going, right? Like as far as construction goes. Now we're going to need a lot more vehicles over time. I also want to take this guy off of auto search so he doesn't go off trying to build too many of these things. I'd like to do that. Now this doesn't need power, but we're going to have to talk about getting power over here, right? Now we do have this rock area here, and I think this isn't part of construction, but I didn't realize that when I did this, but I do like the idea of getting a quarry going over in this area relatively ASAP. So let's, with that in mind, all right, let's extend our road kind of straight, I think, mostly, just because it's free. And so picture that we had a quarry over here. Let's come here and, you know, like the processing plant would take up like this much room. Yeah, it's sort of facing the wrong way. We could probably put it like this maybe, where we'd have at least a quarry in there. And the quarries would be up in the hill. So I'm just trying to get an idea, right? If this was like in this ballpark, say, maybe I would put our gravel over here. Right now, the question is, do we want, yeah, I think in this case, since we're going to have this, we would want at least a small aggregate storage, you know, probably like this way. And if nothing else, even before that's built, like we want a place we can come get gravel, right? Alright, so we should be able to level. Let's. I want to put a few things in this area, so let's. We're not spending money on that. Alright, get kind of a. Get rid of some of these trees. Alright, so there we go. So if we get a aggregate storage, that will be maybe a little bit further down this way. Let's square it up with the road if we can. All right, so now that has a conveyor feeding out this way, and I would like this guy to feed into... Yeah, we're getting kind of far away from our town. I'm wondering if we don't do something like this. Let me spin around so I can see. Let me just take a look real quick, because the other thing we need is the asphalt plant, right? Yeah, and this doesn't have any attachments. And the gravel would have to come in this way, so yeah, maybe we do. Yeah, we'll put this like even with that, where I think I can still get a road in. And then I'll take, let me just level a little bit more and get rid of some of the trees as well. And then we're going to want the concrete plant, right, where it would, man, if we went like this, then what we can do is conveyor. Boy, can you get in here like this maybe for me? Yes. 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 All right, probably could have tightened that up a little bit, but it's within the bounds. All right, so let's get some road action going. Make sure all those can be connected. Extend this straight a little bit more. All right, and then I think we might just go all the way around this guy. That might be a little bit too close. No, good. All right, and then we'll go a little further away. Oh, good call. All right, so now we should be able to get in and out of there at each of these things. Can we just, yeah, let's just loop that guy in like that. All right, for now we'll get rid of that. So there we go. So we got a nice little thing. So I think, yeah, let's, so that's going to take care of gravel, asphalt, and concrete. If you're in doubt as to what you need, right, we can come over here and look, gravel, asphalt, concrete. Now we're going to need to be able to get steel, bricks, prefab panels, and boards, which is going to be like for an open storage. So those aren't going to pollute anything. And then another thing we're probably going to need is we need people up here. So let's go ahead and yeah, we don't need people there, but so we're going to need people to these two places. Yeah, I think this will be close enough. Right, and we'll do some footpaths. Yeah, let's make it look a little nicer. sure if that made it look that much nicer, but there we go. So I'm going to say purchase those. Let me come back. We're going to say purchase the conveyors. All right, we're just going to purchase all of this. Oh, you know what? We really should be using our dollars too, huh? Well, I don't know if it matters. I don't know if it matters, because we can get to either export, not necessarily easily, but let's just use some dollars out of the sake of using, because they're less useful for buying vehicles in the long run. So we'll use our dollars up first. Yeah, I think it would be smarter to use the dollars up first. Okay, there we go. So there's all those things that we would need. And then really our storages should be kind of close to here. So let's come over to, not there, here, storages, right? So we're going to need a warehouse for, well, for warehousing. All right, let's just put that so it attaches to that other road, and then we're just going to get a small storage and plop it in here, right? And we'll purchase both of those. All right, so there we go. So now, really that's, I think, everything we need from the construction side of things. And then what we can do is start talking about our town. And since we put these polluters so far over, I think our town can be real close. And what I'm picturing, and this is where we can maybe, well, I think I want to put 4 of my favorite buildings just to get started. And then we'll talk about how many people we buy. Right? Like, because these are really pound for pound, like the cheapest, easiest to shove in buildings, I think. All right, so if we did 1, 2, we'll just put them like kind of close to each other. Oops. 3. Is the road attaching? Yeah. Try to do something like making it even. All right. So there we go. So those 4, get citizens. Yep. So we're going to get citizens, but we're going to turn it off for now too. So those will fill up with citizens, which will cost us. And then after that, one of the rules on the map is going to be no more purchasing citizens. If all these people die, we start over again, right? So now what do these people need? Well, really the bare minimum that they're absolutely going to need is going to be a fire company. Let's get that first, because I love to forget me a fire company. Right? And we're going to want to put that close enough people can walk to it for work. And centrally located. All right, so that we have a fire company. They're going to need a small shopping center. We'll start putting this stuff over this way. Right, small shopping center. Do we give them a cinema? And here's the other question too. Like, some of this stuff we absolutely have to have, or else they'll become unhappy and they'll quit on us. Yeah, I think we get them the cinema right away, just for the sake of them being happy. Now, pubs can do more damage than they do good, but we have the small shopping center, which will let us expand. Now, one thing I don't want to build right away, but I want to make sure we consider, let's come back to roads, and I want a road cargo station that would be attached to this. Yeah, and unfortunately, as many options as they give you, none of them is quite what I want. I'd like the road to come off this way, but I guess we could do like this. All right, see what I mean? Like, even though they give you a lot of options. Now, do we have a mod that's residential? No, I'm not seeing a mod that would be any better. No. Okay, so let's go back. And again, as much as anything will be a space holder, so why don't we do this with it? Like, let's assume that one day we'll have a road going out this way. Yeah, see, it's just not, no matter which way I put it, it's sort of backwards. All right, well, because I was thinking of more houses right here. So I guess the thing to do would be this, right? And then we can get a road. And, you know, we probably should make it not crooked. Make it square, a little bit more square to the... Right, and again, that's as much as space holder, because one day we'll be making our stuff, and we're going to want a road cargo to come into that shopping center, and that way we don't forget. We can always change it up, right? We haven't actually done anything. Okay, so now, what else do we need? Let's go back over to making people happy. We need some education. We're going to need a kindergarten and a school. Can we get it in here? Can we get the school in? This, I think we do have a mod. Yeah, this will be fine. Oh, come on. Yeah, I could kind of tuck that in a little bit. All right, and maybe we put the kindergarten right across the street. And then we'll put the... So that's education related, equipment for citizens. We're not going to start out with a hospital. If we do anything, we'll build that on our, you know, with our own manpower, because this is all costing us extra money at that point too, right? So, what else are we going to do? Just like, again, this is just the stuff we need to get started, get the map going. Residential buildings, education, equipment. I know I'm forgetting something. I can feel that I'm forgetting something. But again, like I said, we can build more. This is, and we could use money too. I'm forgetting a road to go over to this. No, you won't come off of there? That's fine. All right, so the people are going to have education, a cinema, some sports. There we go. That's what I wanted, just a little bit of sports. Because we want to keep these people happy. We're going to go with a football because it will make a few extra people happy. Maybe we can tuck it right back in here, right? Because they can just do footpath stuff with that. Now, some of this stuff we should probably talk about building, you know, like really the things we need are these things. So let's see what our construction yard. Yeah, let's play for it a little bit of time. Let some of these things be built. And see where our money goes from there, right? So when it comes to gravel, all right, workers. Yeah, those still aren't done. So workers, asphalt, that's still building. Steel, bricks. All right, we can stop time again. Steel, bricks, prefab panels and boards can all come out of there. Mechanical components and electrical components can come out of here. And then, oh, that's gravel, sorry. I was wondering why they were red. Both of them. There we go. All right, so now what we're going to want this guy to do is purchase. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to get power over here too, but we're going to store gravel here, and we're going to purchase using rubles the least amount that I can. All right, because it'll just refill itself. And then coming over here, we want all the things but wood. Yeah, well, we could limit the amount and just take wood all the way down. Right, and then we're going to do like the least amount of each of these. And then fuel. Oh, that's a bus platform. You know what? We don't want students. Fuel. Again, the least amount. Okay, and then here we're going to want, yeah, that's fine. We're going to get some power to these guys in a second. So the open storage is purchasing all of those things. Now here we can do, we don't need to limit the amount at this point. We really probably didn't need to limit the amount in the other places either, but we're going to do, no, we're not going to do food. We're going to do just the electrical components and just the mechanical. Boy, I wish there was a way you could do less, but I guess it doesn't matter too much, right? So we'll purchase those. And then, yeah, so this is our shopping center. Let's purchase that with dollars. We're going to purchase our school with dollars. Everything but the houses, because we'll do those last when we're actually ready, because they're going to auto bring in the people on us, right? Fund this with dollars. I think we'll have plenty for each of those things. And we can use dollars to buy things, right? Just we can't buy vehicles, which is particularly annoying. So if we need to run our dollars up or down, we can start importing those things. So let's see. Did I get all of them? Yeah, let's fund that with dollars. Yeah, we're not going to do that parking space. Or the road cargo station. All right, so we're going to want to purchase the fastest, the bestest fire truck we can. All right, and then teachers. Yeah, we're going to need to get a university going. Well, it's going to be a hard start. There's no doubt about it. All right, so let's pause time again. And then we want to come into our shopping center and we want to purchase the least amount of all the things. Yeah, we're purchasing that. I think they're going to have everything they need. A little bit nervous about hitting the button to build these. But I think we should be in pretty good shape. Let's turn off the wireframe. Yeah, let's turn off the wireframe and yeah, we have enough money. 11,000 each of these is going to cost. Let's see how it goes. You know what we could use is a footpath. I'm going to go along like this. Hopefully this guy will attach. Yep. And then we'll do, hopefully, we're good. That'll attach. That'll attach. Okay, good. All right, let's get rid of the little bits we don't need. I'm going to purchase that. All right. We have 52 people, but like I said, what we're going to do is try to fill them up at that point too, right? So we only got, well, here, let's see. Let's make sure time is settled down. And then let's see what kind of people we got as far as Yeah, university educated. We got a couple, right? What does our stats say? We got 21 university educated. So I'd like to sort of up that. And I think right off the bat, what I would like to do before we get any more people or whatever in here, I don't want to get into too much, right? We're going to have these people assigned to go to the school. And then these people are going to be assigned to work the other things, right? And for that reason, then what I can do is I can say all the people that are highly educated should go live in this house so that we can make sure our schools for as long as possible. All right, now the other thing that's going to happen is don't go buying all of your, like we can invite immigrants, right? We can invite Soviet immigrants or whatever. If you invite regular immigrants, it's not bad. It does save you some bucks. Like, so we may do that like for a couple. Right, but I don't want to do them in this house. This is the house where they teach the school. So let's just get, because it's just cheaper, and it won't kill us that a couple of them have to go to the school, right? But they're going to be like uneducated, right? See that? Or at least a certain number of them will be. So let's do like 2 clicks on each of these 2 houses, right? And then we'll go get regular citizens to fill the rest of the way up. All right, and then same thing with this house. We'll just fill this one with regular citizens. All right, and then what we're going to do is, if you notice, we got, from clicking on that, there is a chance you get other. So what I want to do now is relocate. Let's close this one because they don't have any educated in there, right, to this house here. So we're going to put all of our educated ones effectively in this house. There we go. So we got 23 of those, and I'm not going to bother doing this up, right? We'll get into population expansion, but I think we can at least fight 5 experts, right? So we get our number up to 28. And there we go, guys. That is the start. That is the starting conditions. Yeah, we have that there. Now here, almost, sorry. Right, we want to purchase bitumen from there. Oh, that's right. No, it's not the start because we don't even have any power yet. All right, and in here, we're going to have to purchase cement. And everything else, though, other than these power lines that we need to get over here, we are going to, we're going to build by ourselves. And hopefully we'll be able to build them all. What am I doing? Yeah, purchase resources, cement. All right, good. Okay, so now we'll actually have a source for cement. We're going to have to get a bus going ASAP back and forth. And so what I'm picturing, let's go look at some mod and power transformer. So we have several 4-way medium voltage. What is this? Okay. So this, well, these are off the rails mods. You can always tell this kind of look he gives them. Well, pretty much. Yeah, that really wouldn't be a bad thing, would it? But really what we need, what I want to do is like, you know what? A small transformer. What is the cost difference? Well, you know what? It is a cost difference. We can always put auto build with dollars and then see. So this one's 2,400. This one's 6,000. Yeah, let's go with. Yeah, and this is a pass-through jobby too, which isn't a bad thing. All right, but I don't want to put it right where we're going to put our. Yeah, you know, I think it would go well here. We could run power past that guy in the future. Every time I wiggle, it's turning back into. Right, and then. Yeah, so this. Oops, you know, take that auto build off. Yeah, let's play that right quick and shut it off. Building is without power supply, but that's I don't think. Oh, is that a transformer in the sense that it will provide power to these? Let's go see by doing this. Now I want to head down this way and probably get our initial power from like right here. All right, so let's spin around so we can look. Where's our... We are over in that direction. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is electrical, high voltage wires. Let's make it semi-realistic. If that's the right word. I kind of want to get out of the hills without being like at the top of every hill. All right, so now there's going to be another couple rules. You know, I'm going to kind of skirt the hill a little bit. Did I do well skirting the hill? Yeah, pretty good. Now, can we cross over here? That's another big... How are we supposed to get power over there? Well, this would be my narrowest little... Let's see if I can't... I don't know how steep this is. Pretty deep. All right, does that make it the difference? Well, we may have to attack this a different way. We haven't... Ah. Really? Well, this might be a bit of a problem, huh? Well, we can go from there to there, but we're not going to be able to go from there to there. Yeah. Let me pause it, and I'm just going to have to level this up enough that this will work. I'm not sure if there's... High voltage switch, yeah, I don't think there's any real way around this. So I'm just going to level out a little bit so that we can get this. Now, how far will they... How far do we need to go? Like, can we go across this? No. I'm really kind of lost as to how we're supposed to get... So we can only go like that far? Or is there something else I'm missing? Yeah, that's too far. That works. So we only can go... Let's see what it is. Let's get the wireframe out and try to get a... Right, kind of an idea of... Yeah, I'd say like 20 blocks. Yes, I don't know. I guess this... Yeah, well, we're just going to have to do what I have to do. Let me pause it for 1 minute because it's getting episodes... I was about to end it, you know. All right, hold on 1 sec. I ended up going into cheat mode and putting a little tiny dot of an island right here. But you can see I was able to span the difference. So now we should be able to continue our thing. And again, this is the last mode of cheating or last... Good luck, we skirted right by that lake. Perfect. I kind of wanted to skirt right by the lake, but... Okay, so now we're going to pay for all of this, right? So we can come like right back to here. Let me just do one thing to make sure, so we can get a road past here, right? Just in case. I don't mind that the power line's on that angle, but that way the road we won't have to rip it all down. All right, so how much is this going to cost us? 200 and it's going to cost us like the rest of our dollars. There we go, or darn near. No particular reason to keep dollars versus rubles at this point. Now, when I did that, I did have to play time for it a tiny bit. So we don't have any shoppers, but we got sellers. And that's because we don't have any power, I think. But let's work on that last little thing. All right, why don't we just put... Can we fit that guy in there? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to cover everything around that intersection. And then we need to cover... Yeah, why don't we put it down this way? Because the idea would be that... Yeah, let's go... Let me spin around. I could probably put it in better and see. All right, I'm going to put it, like, say, here, so that hopefully it would power up our quarry buildings, too. And then I do like to use these bigger power wires. Let's see. Yeah, this one I'll... All right, good. We got right across the street. Let's go, yeah, just that one. All right, so there's one hooked up. Oh, wait. You know what? I want to not do something. Let's build the big power lines coming in, and then we know we're going to need another one. But I want to see, is this building actually a transformer? All right. Yeah, so let's just get across the road there. And then we're going to use this little... Come on, stop it. Yeah, let's go up to like here. We're going to use this little loop back trick. Right, where you go up and then come back in. All right, so let's let that get purchased. 6,000. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll let all of that get built, I hope. Before anybody gets too unhappy or some building catches on fire or who the hell knows what. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's purchase this. I'll just use the ruble so it gets done. And there it comes. It's taken quite a while and a lot of our money to get that power over here, but we got to have power, right? So another couple of the rules are until 1980, we're not going to be allowed to sell power or oil, bitumen, or fuel, right? So we're not going to be allowed to have an oil start, but then at a certain point, I think it's reasonable to start exporting when we're well past the time, right? So now to these buildings, let's do two things. Okay, well, let's do three things. This episode's kind of getting long. I might, oh, you know what? Oh, we ran out of money. Stop. All right. Are these separate contracts? Let's make sure they're all looks finished. And that I didn't not connect something. So buildings without power supply. Now I think everything looks connected at a real quick flyby. So let's come here. That you can purchase as much as you want. It doesn't really matter. So let's just do this real quick. Yep, give it a minute. Right, it's not. You're not going to actually be purchasing the most, so you can put this up to the maximum. It's not going to cost you any more money. All right, so let's go zoom back over to here. Yeah, building is without power supply. So this is not a transformer. It's a transfer station. Right? Because a transformer would be giving us electrical power, and we're not getting anywhere. Right? I'll mention that to Off the Rails. See if he has an opinion. Okay, so that just means we have to hook this guy back up. Right. Angle too sharp. Yeah, we're just gonna go right across the road there. You know what, let's come out from this like kind of would like this to be at a 90-degree angle, right? But it's not going to happen. All right, so let's purchase those wires with rubles. We could have purchased this. Right? So do we have power? Yep. 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 Good. Well, there we go, guys. The episode took a little longer. I may cut out some of the stuff in the beginning, but we'll see. It was awful choppy. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be anyway, but it looks like we have power pretty much everywhere we need it now. And so I'm not going to get into a big, long goodbye. But there you go. So I will upload this save file. Here, we'll do it right now. And so this will be called Save as New Rever Stand E0-2. Right? And I will talk to Radomir about putting up the other, like this version of the map without these buildings in it. So you could start wherever you wanted if you just wanted, call it my version of the map as opposed to his. His is more interesting in the sense you got the weaker oil and, you know, more trees. If you're not recording, they probably won't bother you as much as they would me. You know, they're not really causing a big problem at this point. Maybe if your map got bigger, but you could always go and erase them all, right? If they started causing you problems down the road. So in any event, and no sense in looking for problems that you don't have. So thank you very much for watching. And I think we have everything we need. Please leave a comment if you got any mods or anything that you think we should do a little different. But this is where we're going to start from. And we're going to build our empire from right here. Hopefully we don't have to import any other people. That'll be one of our rules. No importing people. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. And bye-bye.